completely missed. In the comments section, they noted a figure dressed in red, lurking among the trees in the background during the early part of Phil's hike, long before he discovered any notes. Upon reviewing the footage, the shadowy figure is indeed visible, silently watching Phil from a distance, suggesting he may have been stalked from the very beginning of his journey. As of 2024, Phil hasn't uploaded another video about the strange notes he found on the Appalachian Trail. While dozens of hikers have likely encountered these disturbing messages since then, we may never know the identity of the person who wrote them, or what might have happened had they encountered unsuspecting campers. Nicholas Paparo runs a small YouTube channel from Wisconsin where he posts fishing vlogs and reviews fishing equipment. His videos are typically relaxed and cheerful, as you'd expect from a fishing channel, but a video he posted in June 2025 took a much darker turn. The video begins like any other, with Nicholas fishing at a local river while his dog Lola hangs out nearby. That's when things got weird.
Figure it out, Doc.
On the edge of the riverbank, he spotted a stranger watching him from within the bushes. Nicholas mentions in the video captions that the man had an unsettling, wild expression. The stranger kept moving closer, sneaking through the brush as if trying to stay hidden. Nicholas thinks the man has left when he looks away, but the situation becomes even more disturbing.
Lola, come here. How's it going?
The stranger emerges from the trees, with a second person joining him. They don't speak to Nicholas or acknowledge him, and they don't seem to have any fishing equipment with them. All they do is stare or act like they're examining the trees, leaving Nicholas confused about what they want.
Come here. Come here.
After several minutes, Nicholas decides he's had enough. He calls Lola, gathers his fishing gear, and the two of them move further up the river. As the video concludes, Nicholas shares his thoughts about the strange encounter.
They were peeping me out from down the river, and then they came closer and closer, and then they were just tending to look at the trees, and then they kept staring at me. Fuck. Usually people like say something or whatever. We're just standing there staring, like, especially peeking past the trees halfway down the river and then getting closer and closer and then standing next to me and just staring at me. Yikes.
What were these men doing there, and why did they behave so oddly? Was it just curiosity, or did they have something more sinister in mind? Grizzly Gaz is a camping channel on YouTube featuring Gaz, the uploader, going on hiking and camping trips in the UK with his French bulldog named Fendi. In a lot of his videos, he goes camping in some pretty extreme conditions, and he often shows footage of his unexpected encounters in the woods. On May 4th, 2025, Gaz set off on another outdoor adventure with Fendi. This time, he had a specific goal in mind.
I keep reading about a druid's altar that's buried in the woods of this reservoir. Now, I don't know where it is, but we're gonna find it. But this particular reservoir is very popular with dog walkers, so I'm gonna have to hang fire a little bit until everybody's buggered off home before I could set up camp.
His goal was to find a mysterious druid's altar rumored to be hidden somewhere in the woods near a local reservoir. The reservoir was unusually low due to recent dry weather, exposing beaches along its edge that weren't normally visible. While waiting for the dog walkers to clear out so he could set up camp, Gaz spotted what appeared to be an abandoned campsite tucked away among the trees. He made a mental note to investigate it later. After the area quieted down, Gaz found a perfect spot and set up his tent. Then the pair took some time to explore, discovering a beautiful waterfall cascading down rocks nearby. Back at camp as evening approached, Gaz brewed coffee on his portable stove, trying out a new set of magnetic gas canister legs that kept his setup stable on the uneven ground. As Fendi relaxed nearby, Gaz enjoyed the peaceful woodland atmosphere. Then suddenly, the silence shattered.
Bit of extra protein for you. Mate, go get your tent. Go on. Go get your tent. Go chill out for a bit. I'll have this and then we'll go for a walk. So impatient, isn't she? What was that? Did you hear that? Definitely sounded like a tree falling down from over there somewhere. Kept hearing stuff up behind me. And then, big crash right over there, but I can't see out through trees.
A tremendous crash is heard from deep within the forest. Gaz initially thought it was a falling tree, but something about the noise felt deliberate, too purposeful. Despite the unsettling sound, his curiosity about both the abandoned camp and the rumored druid's altar drove him to investigate. Venturing deeper into the woods with Fendi at his side, Gaz began to feel uneasy.
I've just realised that that tree that collapsed earlier, or that branch that snapped, yep, Mr. Owl's out. That's up near where I saw that camp. So this might be a wrong move. Pigeons. Don't know if this is a good idea now. Come on, we need to go have a look, don't we? I can hear rustling over here, but I don't know if it's just my imagination playing tricks on me. Oh, this is a bit dodgy, innit?
The forest seemed too quiet, with only the occasional hoot of owls breaking the stillness. He started hearing rustling noises that might have been his imagination, but his instincts warned him something wasn't right.
Oh, look at this. And this isn't what I saw, but looks like someone's been making a fort here.
Fought. Nice. Dun, 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 dun,
First, they stumbled upon what looked like a makeshift fort someone had built among the trees.
Here begins the
Not far from
final
it, they found the abandoned
countdown.
campsite Gaz had spotted earlier.
Bing-a-ling, bing.
There it is, look, the tent.
Bing, 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 bing. This final fucking countdown. Final countdown.
Hello? Hello? Sunday, come here.
The final motherfucking countdown, down, down, down. The final motherfucking countdown, down. Take a bing bong. Take a bing bong.
Oh, I don't know. Oh, there you go. That answers it, doesn't it? Fendi. Shh. shit my pants then, mate. Oh look, bong there and cream of tomato soup. Mandarin pieces. Just bits of crap lying about everywhere.
Trash was scattered everywhere. Food wrappers, empty soup cans, and even drug paraphernalia suggesting whoever had been there wasn't just innocent campers. As they continued exploring, Gaz noticed strange splashing sounds coming from the direction of the water. More disturbing was the sudden dimming of his headlamp, which began failing without warning. In the weakening light, he caught a glimpse of something reflecting in the darkness.
Great. That's all we need. Definitely just saw eye shine over there. Oh, fucking head torch.
Finally, at the bottom of a slope, Gaz made his most unsettling discovery.
There it is. We found it. It's a shame my head torch ain't working. There we go, look. What's that on top of it? What is that? Oh, do we dare even come in here? Holy Bible. That says the end there. Is it upside down? Why would it be upside down? Is Genesis the first passage of the Bible? I don't know. It's got some scribbling on there. Can't make out what it says. Mary and something or other. Eastwood, Todmorden, 1995. That's creepy, isn't it? Upside down Bible. Oh, I don't like that. Alright, let's see what we can see here. What's it made out of?
The supposed druid's altar, but rather than an ancient stone structure, it was constructed from concrete blocks that appeared to have been taken from a nearby bridge. Most disturbing of all, an upside-down Bible lay open on top, its pages covered with strange scribbles, names and dates, including Eastwood Todden, 1995. The sight of the inverted holy book on what was supposed to be a pagan altar made no sense. Was this some teenager's idea of a joke? A sign of something more sinister? Or just an odd collection of discarded items? With his headlamp continuing to fail and Fendi staying close to his side, Gaz decided he'd seen enough. Whatever the meaning behind this strange shrine, it gave him an uneasy feeling. As they hurried back to camp, Gaz was left with more questions than answers. James is a YouTuber who runs the channel Under the Weather. He's well known for spending nights alone in some of the creepiest forests you can find in the UK. Usually cool and collected, James doesn't typically get spooked easily. But one night in a place the locals know as Devil's Wood, he ran into something that threw even him off balance. As darkness was closing in, James scrambled to get his campsite ready next to a peaceful stream.
Hello, welcome back to Under the Weather, live from the Devil's Wood. Now I'm losing daylight and I'm in a very precarious place, so I need to try and get some wood, and for a fire, but as you can see there's a lot of wetness around. I'm camped right next to a river. Tent's already up because, as I said, losing daylight. Let's show you the wee tent here. The only flat bit of ground is like this little strip here, which runs along this riverbed right in the middle of the Devil's Wood. Let's see if we can get some lights on the go. There. I mean, if you look up, it's still daylight outside. Right, let's see if we can get some fire going.
The spot looked nice enough, but
Let's
something
go, let's
felt
do
off
this
about
shit.
it. It was damp, cut off from civilization,
Success.
and weirdly quiet except for the water flowing nearby. He picked up sticks for his fire, got his tent up, and started getting everything set for a night out under the stars. While cooking his dinner, a weird noise suddenly cut through the quiet. At first, James thought it was probably just critters or stones moving in the water, the usual nighttime sounds that make you jumpy when you're alone. But then the noise started to change.
Right, time to get the shoes off and change a little bit. Hang on. Ow. Hang on. There will be little animals scratching around, you know, but and also it's when you're camping right next to a river, stream, whatever it is, you'll hear rocks going through the night, and your brain will tell you that's someone coming to get you know, but it's literally rocks just kind of being pushed down by the weight of the water. So I think turn this. I think I just turn this.
Jesus Christ, he took his time.
Hello, is there anybody there?
I need cover.
Hello?
Reloading.
It became less random, more like something making it on purpose. James stopped dead, feeling that cold tingle of fear creep up his neck. He yelled out into the blackness, half thinking he was just letting his imagination run wild, but nothing called back, just his fire popping and the trees rustling softly in the wind. When he pointed his flashlight around the woods, something caught his eye.
Hello, is there anybody there? Hello? 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 Oof. What's that? Oof. Oof.
The fuck is that?
Right.
Standing there between two trees was a figure dressed in red, just watching him silently from the dark. James couldn't move. When he swung his light back to the spot a second later, whatever it was had disappeared. Though seriously freaked out, James left his camp to investigate, both wanting and dreading another sighting of the figure.
Right. I'm gonna go have a look. Hello? Oh, that's again. Don't think I like the look of that thing, whatever that was. God save me. Right, let's see if we can get across the river without falling in. Oh God. What the hell?
It never showed up again, so James returned to camp, though he could hardly sleep. When the sun came up, James grabbed his stuff and got out of Devil's Wood, but he couldn't shake the image of that person in red. Was it just some random hiker, his eyes playing tricks? Or had he actually seen one of the many ghosts people say haunt these woods? Whatever it was, James was just glad it kept its distance. In April 2019, an outdoors enthusiast called Jason posted a video on his YouTube channel, Appy Mountain Trekkers, showing his lone overnight stay in the mountains. His channel features all sorts of wilderness content, with Jason regularly sharing videos of his hiking trips, camping experiences, and woodland survival skills. For most of this video, the hike to his destination seems routine.
I'm heading up on the mountain to do some work at camp and do my first overnighter of the year solo.
Once he reaches his chosen spot, Jason gets busy pitching his tent and demonstrates for viewers how he builds a fire as daylight fades. While waiting for nightfall, he passes time by trying to carve a wooden spoon. During this activity, he notices an odd noise coming from a nearby mountaintop.
I can't figure out what that is. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but it sounds like some kind of, almost sounds like a bird, but it doesn't.
Reloading! Reloading!
Of course it quits. I'm hearing things. This may be a long night.
However, he dismisses the noise as wildlife and carries on with his evening preparations. Around 9 o'clock, Jason switches off his camera to sleep, but within an hour he's awakened by an unfamiliar sound.
Well, boys and girls, getting ready to hit the hay. It's a little after 9, and I'm whipped. I think I'm gonna sleep good tonight. It's supposed to be relatively warm, in the 50s, and it feels like it. Alright guys, we'll give you a quick update. It's about 10 after 10. I laid down about 9 o'clock and I was trying to go to sleep. It took me a while and I was almost asleep, and sometime before 10 I was woke up by something I've never heard in my life. And I know this might sound sensational or something, that, I'm not bullshitting. I heard like 4 quick, very loud, deep guttural calls from this ridge behind me, behind camp. There's like a dip on the other side, and it goes up and it goes up to a higher ridge on this backside. It sounded like it come from over there. But it was like 4 calls, almost like a communication call of some kind. They were back to back, and then there was a pause, and then I heard 2 more. It scared the absolute shit out of me. I'm still rattled. I've never heard anything like that in my life. It sounded like a mix between almost like a pig, some kind of, I hate to even say it, but a pig, an ape, and the calls almost sounded like how the velociraptors communicate with each other on Jurassic Park. I've never heard anything like that in my life. Needless to say, I'm pretty wigged out being up here by myself. I got up and got this first thing. I don't know what the hell that was, but it was big. It sounded big.
The sound unlike anything he claims to have heard before. He describes it as a deep, throaty animal call, though its distance made identifying the source impossible. After this unsettling interruption, he attempts to go back to sleep. But around 1 a.m., he's disturbed again by what sounds like something or someone moving around his tent.
About 1 o'clock, I woke up again. I heard something circling my camp. Whatever it is, it's close. Hear that? Whatever it is, it sounded like there was 2 or 3 of them, and it started on the other side of my camp, went around my perimeter. Whatever it is, it sounded like there was 2 or 3 of them, and it started on the other side of my camp, went around my perimeter. I heard that. Yeah. I think I'm going back to camp.
In the bottom left corner of the footage, when Jason sweeps his flashlight across the area, you can spot what looks like 1 or 2 pairs of eyes reflecting back. Though many creatures' eyes shine in the dark, the bright white glow suggests Jason had wolves or coyotes keeping watch on him. While dogs' eyes reflect similarly, it's not likely a domestic dog would be wandering the mountains near his tent at 1 a.m. Though wolves and coyotes rarely attack people and typically stay away from humans, they can turn dangerous when they feel cornered, particularly when protecting their young. Had this been happening, Jason could have been in serious trouble. The most disturbing part is that he seems completely unaware of the glowing eyes tracking him as he searches the darkness with his light. Thankfully, he returned to his tent and made it through the night, unharmed. The next day, he filmed a morning update for his subscribers, but made no mention of the eyes his camera had caught the previous night, hinting he never spotted them. The channel never posted any follow-up about this scary encounter. The abandoned camper shared footage of her overnight stay in an old graveyard from the 1800s. Everything seemed normal at first. She spotted a hidden clearing among thick bushes and trees, and started setting up her tent and gear. With camp ready, she wandered through the cemetery with her camera to kill time until dark. That's when weird stuff started happening.
Those dogs are barking at me. I'm probably the only one that's here at this time. They're going crazy.
While filming the weathered headstones, she caught the sound of what seemed like children screaming somewhere in the distance. She thought she was totally alone in the cemetery. Turns out, she couldn't have been more mistaken.
So if you can't tell, it's pretty dark here, right now. But there are kids here, like young kids, in the cemetery. And I'm wondering how active this place actually is. Do people come here at night and kind of party in the forest or something? Anyway, I'm heading back to my spot. The dog barking, I didn't want to disturb them, especially since I'm not supposed to be here. So I think I'll finish my experiment tomorrow morning. And because there seems to be still a lot of stuff here. See? Hear them? I think they know I'm here. That's not good. Fuck. I'm gonna keep this recording. Just in case. But I'm also gonna stop and find out what they're doing. If they're actually watching me or not.
Walking back to her camp, she noticed a group of kids far off who probably spotted her too. She figured these kids now knew someone was there and were just trying to freak her out. Still, she didn't take chances. She kept recording just in case and made sure nobody followed her back to her hidden spot. Back at her stealth camp, she lit a small fire to cook dinner. This proved to be a major mistake.
I just had to put out the fire because there are people walking around back here. They don't have headlamps on, but like I said in my last video, I do not like being around people in the middle of the forest, especially when it's dark. So I might pack up and get out of here.
Soon after the flames got going, she heard voices and footsteps moving through the woods toward where she was camped.
Okay, I'm packed up. I'm ready to go. So, luckily I have a friend that lives around this neighborhood, so maybe I'll just go continue this night in their backyard because I was looking forward to having a nice night. And there's still people here. I can barely hear their voices, but they're like way off in the distance. And there's the occasional dog bark. That dog that was barking at me, he keeps barking.
We'll never know what those kids were really up to, because she'd made the smart move to dodge any trouble by quickly gathering her stuff and slipping away from the cemetery, taking extra care to stay silent the whole time. Man Dog Wild is a YouTube channel that takes viewers on journeys through remote wilderness areas and teaches survival skills. The channel features the host and his dogs as they explore some of the most isolated parts of the country. On April 9th, 2025, Man Dog Wild posted a video that would quickly become the channel's most disturbing upload. As with most of his content, it started innocently enough with a calm evening trek through the mountains with Yeti at his side. While the scenery was beautiful, the area's local nickname, Skinwalker Mountains, suggested something much darker beneath the surface. People living nearby have long told stories about weird sightings, odd happenings, and old supernatural legends connected to these hills. The hike started off normal, with Yeti bouncing around the path with her typical excitement, but her mood soon shifted.
And I thought I'd start filming it because it's always kind of interesting. Yeti.
Yeti is either one or two things.
She's a very simple dog. She's either completely unstable and constant zoomies, or she's very serious. And right now she's slowed down and she'll stop and she'll want me to follow her to take me somewhere or show me something. And at this point, now she's not going to stray too far from me because now she wants to show me something. We've just been out here exploring, as we usually do around this time, a little earlier than this. It's getting a bit dark now, and we've been on one of these abandoned roads that go to nowhere. They've just been left, walking these dirt roads, and Yeti comes across this little trail. She's slowed down and she wants to show me. She's right there. She's not running. She's not got the zoomies as she normally does. She's staying close by. She's scenting something, but she's been on this trail.
She began moving slower, keeping near her owner and guiding him toward a barely used side trail. Anyone who knows how outdoor dogs behave understands this isn't just random. Yeti had picked up on something and wanted her owner to see it. They pushed forward along the narrowing path into thicker woods, moving away from the safety of the main trail. As the trees grew denser and daylight faded, an unsettling feeling crept over the area. Then, in a small, open space ahead, they stumbled upon something truly bizarre.
Still on the trail right here. Yeti was checking out this stuff.
He wasn't so hard to kill.
Wow. That's just scary. We're gonna go home soon yet, huh? Where are we going? Maybe the scariest thing isn't actually the little doll with the creepy smile, but actually the location.
The host dug through the trash scattered around, finding old food wrappers and the remains of what looks like a baby stroller. As he kept searching the area, he discovered a worn child's doll right in the middle of the path, surrounded by scattered dirt and wild plants. Its lifeless eyes stared blankly ahead. The doll itself was creepy, but finding it here made no sense at all. There weren't any houses, camping spots, or even roads anywhere close by. Someone had purposely carried these things deep into these woods. Just a short distance from the doll lay a flat rock with a chilling arrangement.
Well, at least we're out at that plantation now. What is that? Hey, sister. What is that? So, this is where she leads us.
burnt.
That was too easy.
So obviously these mountains are strange places. Someone's come out here and made this. They've made this, and I don't know what to make of this.
Bones had been carefully placed across its surface, with what appeared to be an animal's skeletal head positioned in the center. Around this grim collection were circular burn marks, scorched directly into the stone. This wasn't some random pile. The bones were deliberately arranged, and the perfect circle of blackened rock suggested some kind of ritual. The whole setup was clearly no accident. Someone had taken time to gather these remains, arrange them precisely, burn the pattern, and place the doll in this middle-of-nowhere spot. The weirdness only got worse from there.
It's one of the strangest things I've ever seen out here. That's just way too thick, so big man. I definitely saw lights. I caught the video also. I took a look. And I don't know, obviously, maybe we kind of did the same thing. And we all turned our lights off and moved away. But when I turned around, I couldn't see the lights anymore.
While making his way back, Mandog Wild's host spotted odd lights blinking on a ridge nearby. They pulsed dimly, moving between trees in a steady pattern. When he clicked off his flashlight to hide, the lights disappeared. Just seconds later, a piercing, high-pitched tone cut through the silence. The sound was steady and clearly man-made, like the kind used in cities to keep people away from off-limits areas. But out here in the middle of nowhere, it felt more like a threat. Yeti, who normally barks and reacts to anything unusual, stayed strangely quiet the whole time. No barking, no tugging on the leash, just silent watchfulness. This unusual calm, paired with the mysterious figures, weird lights, and that unnatural sound created a feeling of dread that stuck with them long after leaving. The host avoided that same path going back, taking a longer but less scary route instead. Those strange lights were never spotted again. Eleanor Grace Adventures is a YouTube channel run by a British woman who documents her hiking and car camping journeys across the UK. One of her favorite hobbies while traveling is finding peaceful spots to enjoy wild swimming. On May 22nd, 2025, Eleanor uploaded footage of what should have been a routine hike through Dartmoor National Park. Instead, what unfolded was a deeply unsettling experience she claims she'll never forget. The video begins with Eleanor driving toward Dartmoor. Her day was already taking a turn as the sunny weather she'd hoped for had given way to dark, ominous clouds overhead. Despite this disappointment, she was determined to complete her planned hike after making the long drive to the national park. After parking, Eleanor grabbed her backpack and began her trek through Dartmoor's scenic landscape.
Beautiful grey evening in the middle of Dartmoor. I wanted to do an evening hike and I was looking on my All Trails app for somewhere really nice on Dartmoor. Whilst I was checking out my All Trails app, I came across this place and it's an old mining quarry, which is literally, now I'm not too sure if it's this one or there. Beautiful hike with old buildings and stuff like that. Getting a bit boggy, but worth it.
Though the weather wasn't ideal, the scenery was breathtaking and serene. The trail was deserted, except for Eleanor and a few wandering sheep. As she hiked, she talked to her viewers about her plans to find one of the area's abandoned quarries for a wild swim before the rain arrived. Eleanor made her way across small streams and past ancient ruins scattered throughout Dartmoor. Eventually, her path led her to a secluded quarry surrounded by tall, jagged rocks. She paused to take in the view before preparing for her swim. For the first few minutes in the water, Eleanor seemed to enjoy the peaceful experience, occasionally looking up at the sheep, watching her from the rocks above. Around 6 minutes into the video, the atmosphere noticeably shifts.
The rocks are quite high and jagged, it's not overly deep. So you've got to be careful where you're putting your legs, really, or kicking your legs to swim. Oh, it's just so nice though.
Loads and loads of like planes and military helicopters and stuff above me.
You just died already.
Really, really weird noise coming from it. I don't know if someone's wild camping and pumping up something, because that's what I can hear. It sounds like that, either that or it's extremely loud, heavy panting. God, I hope it's someone wild camping. Yeah, it was coming from up there. It is pretty eerie when you're on your own.
Eleanor mentions military aircraft flying overhead, which isn't unusual since Dartmoor is near a training base. But once the planes disappeared, she began to hear strange noises echoing across the quarry. The sound resembled rhythmic pumping or heavy breathing coming from somewhere among the rocks. Eleanor nervously speculated it might be someone inflating camping equipment, though no other hikers were visible in the area. Growing increasingly uncomfortable and feeling the water's chill, Eleanor decided to cut her swim short. After climbing out, she briefly discussed her future camping plans while drying off. Throughout this segment, strange sounds continued in the background. As Eleanor prepared to leave, the uneasy feeling intensified.
There's nothing to cling on to get up. Just starting to get very chilly and quite dark actually. That was a bit risky than getting undressed and then dressed, trying to keep my towel around me. I did keep hearing that noise, so I don't know what it was. It could have been an animal. Typical YouTube video. Oh, it went somewhere really strange and there was someone watching me. Until actually, that happens and then I'm screwed because I have to put that video up.
She described feeling as though multiple eyes were watching her, though she couldn't identify the source. The growing darkness added to her anxiety as she hurried to pack up her belongings. When Eleanor began her return hike, she quickly realized she was lost.
I don't know if I can get down here. Oh no, I can. Where's the car park? It's in the distance over there. No, how do I get down? Oh my God, I didn't even know that was there. Where the hell is the car? But oh God. Ah! Whoa. I just put my foot in that. I'm gonna really have to watch my step. Oh, where's the bloody car?
The path she had taken earlier seemed to have vanished, and she found herself struggling to navigate through marshy bogs that nearly swallowed her to her thighs. Several times, she almost stumbled into deep water, frantically searching for landmarks to guide her back to her vehicle. After a tense journey through increasingly boggy terrain, Eleanor finally located her car just as darkness was falling. Rather than stay in the area as originally planned, she drove to her father's home on the outskirts of Dartmoor to spend the night. The following morning, Eleanor spoke to her viewers about her experience.
I want to talk about last night. Dartmoor in itself, it's very vast, very big. There's a lot of beautiful places. There's a lot of ancient monuments. There's a lot of all that stuff going on. For the vast majority, it looks like this, okay? So there's a lot of tors and woodlands and forests and stuff like that thrown in, which is absolutely gorgeous too. In some places on Dartmoor, yes, it does feel a little bit eerie. And I don't know if it's because I was completely alone. Like, a part of me wishes I had someone with me so that I could ask them how they felt about it. But then again, I might not have got the same experience because, when you're on your own, you're not distracted. You're just you there in the environment, in the present moment. I do like to think there's an explanation for a lot of these things, but I'll be honest, that place was eerie as hell. And I don't know if it's because of the noises I heard or just the overall vibe itself, but even more so than the place where I actually swam, this place is where I felt it the most. I've never felt anything, actually, no, that's a lie. There's only one other place that I've felt that before. And that's a place that I did a video in a few years ago called Kennel Vale. It felt like there were eyes on me, multiple eyes on me in that quarry last night. But I had no idea where they were. I kept looking behind me. That bit there with the sheep and the bit of ruin was so strong. Like, it was so strong. Towards the end, when I was on my way back, that's why I was saying, like, where's the car, where I'm looking, and I couldn't wait to leave because it was even stronger when I went to leave.
She described the overwhelming sense of dread that had washed over her at the quarry, stronger than anything she'd felt at officially designated haunted locations. She firmly stated she had no intention of returning to the quarry despite its natural beauty. A viewer later commented that Dartmoor was once described as one of those special places in Britain that remembers exactly how ancient, wild, and magical it is, suggesting the strange energies Eleanor felt are commonly experienced there. Most disturbing of all, another viewer pointed out what appears to be a figure ducking out of frame approximately 9 minutes into the video, suggesting Eleanor wasn't alone that day. Was Eleanor truly alone that day in Dartmoor? Or did something ancient and unseen follow her through those misty bogs? We may never know for certain. As a nature-loving solo camper and single mom, Claire's channel, Wild Bear, usually showcases peaceful hikes and starlit nights. Viewers tune in for her laid-back approach and the beautiful outdoor scenery she captures. But for Halloween, Claire decided to shake things up a bit.
Hello, wild ones. I'm back! Trying something a bit different today, so I'm going to be camping at a creepy church with a history of satanic ritual, witchcraft. So yeah, this is Wild Bear, coming to you from Clough Hill. Rainbow over the church, but there's no rain at all. Strange. Unfortunately, I can't camp at the actual church because I've said satanic rituals. Over the years, people have dug up bones and all sorts from graves. There's been a murder down on A6 known as the A6 murder. That's the road just over there, I believe. So yeah, lots has happened here, and understandably the church has been closed for overnight visitors, and there are cameras and alarms everywhere. So I've been up to have a look at the church, and I'm staying somewhere nearby where I feel like I won't be disturbed.
She was headed to St. Mary's Church on Clough Hill, a historical area with a dark reputation, a place whispered about in local legends, tied to satanic rituals, and sitting uncomfortably close to the site of a notorious killing. This wasn't going to be just any camping trip. Since the church building itself was off limits, protected by alarms and cameras after years of troubling events, Claire set up her small tent in nearby woods.
Yeah, I like this little bit of woods. Don't think I'll be disturbed here. I'm going to do a bivvy today, so really stay off. I've not got another shelter if it rains, just a bivvy, so I think it's going to be a nice night actually. Just got to wait around till it gets dark. See if there's any spooky noises tonight.
She hoped for a peaceful night, but the location's scary history kept popping into her mind. As night fell, things were about to get weirder.
It's just starting to get dark now, so I'm going to get my little bed made up, and then I think we'll make some dinner soon. Alright guys, so my bed's up. I've got the usual suspects today. So I'm going to keep this cinched up, keep the bugs out of it, and then I think we're going to make some dinner now. I love Thai curry.
You can serve your country in hell.
I don't know what that noise is. What is that?
While getting her camp ready, Claire started hearing odd sounds. Some were normal woods noises, dogs barking in the distance, owls hooting, and leaves rustling in the breeze. What stood out was a sharp, high-pitched ringing coming from somewhere nearby. In her video captions, Claire mentions it might be a security alarm from a nearby building, but it seemed too close to know for sure. Not wanting to run away scared, Claire finished eating her dinner. During her meal, Claire talked about the site's creepy past.
Bit of food. Right, okay, so some bits and bobs about St Mary's Church. That's the church we had a look at earlier. So it's 400 years old, abandoned in 1848.
Can't get a
So the
fucking
church
thing.
first hit the headlines in March 1963 when satanic graffiti was scrawled on the church walls and several graves disturbed. One body was removed with her bones arranged on a makeshift altar, her skull impaled on a metal spike, and a cockerel was also found sacrificed apparently. Now I don't know how true this stuff is, kind of folklore around here, everyone sort of knows